Well, good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Rayo here. It is 5:02 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on this 10th day of the month of July, and we are providing you right now with an update as far as what we expect over the next few hours and over the next few days in terms of our weather, and of course, talking especially about Tropical Storm Faye, which has been moving up along the mid-Atlantic and northeast coast and has been providing us with a rather soggy Friday, a rather soggy end of the week. On your screen right now, you can see the GOES 16 geocolor satellite loop, which shows the swirl of clouds associated with this tropical system. The center of the storm right now appears to be somewhere down near South Jersey. In fact, we expect that in the next hour or so, it's going to be close to Belmar, New Jersey, continuing to move northward. And this thing may actually move directly over the New York City metropolitan area late tonight, up toward 11 o'clock or midnight or so. So we have this storm system. We're watching it very carefully. I'm going to show you the radar. Let me show you first the northeast radar loop. Here it is, right here. And you can see that a lot of precipitation swirling around. The storm system, as I said, the center of the storm is down here, but the main batch of moisture, including what appears to be a spiral arm containing quite a bit of precipitation extending out into the Atlantic Ocean, this all is moving on a southeast to northwest trajectory. And as you can see, the lion's share of this moisture appears over New Jersey, and especially so over eastern Pennsylvania. The folks in eastern Pennsylvania are going to get the brunt of this. I think before this is all over, said and done, we may be hearing about rainfall totals on the neighborhood of about 3, 4, maybe even 5 inches. Meantime, if you're out on the eastern part of Long Island, well, you've hardly seen very much. I mean, there have been a few showers around, but certainly nothing that you would not be able to handle. This is the story of this storm system. Because of the track of the storm, and because the bulk of the moisture is to the north and northwest of the storm center, that's why we're seeing the bulk of the storm, the heavy-duty rains, occurring from about New York City and points west across northern New Jersey and on into the eastern part, again, of Pennsylvania. We take a look at a different radar. This is a close-in view now from the National Weather Service radar site at Upton, Long Island. And you can see I mentioned that arm of moisture extending out over the ocean and then into central and western Long Island. And again, notice the Twin Forks of Long Island hardly seeing anything in terms of moisture from Faye, but meanwhile, the yellows and the oranges are the indicators of where the moderate to heavy activity is. And as you can see, it appears right now it's in Long Island Sound, moving across a part of the lower Hudson Valley, Westchester, and then on across into the northern end of New Jersey and further back again into eastern Pennsylvania. And again, notice how the cells of precipitation are moving basically again from east-southeast to west-northwest. And the storm track, as I said, of Faye, which apparently is located down somewhere just to the north of Atlantic City, the storm itself is going to be moving northward as the moisture from Faye, these precipitation areas, move again from southeast to northwest. Now, we're expecting that we're going to continue to see significant precipitations, showery rains, maybe some rumbles of thunder. In fact, there's the possibility that we may even see an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm pop up over the next few hours. But I have to tell you that I think most of the rain, or at least the heaviest dose of rain, should be pretty well done with our area after about 8 or 9 o'clock this evening. After that, it'll just be a lot of leftover moisture, leftover shower activity till about midnight or 1 a.m. And then we should be done with precipitation completely after about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So right now, as you're watching this, and again, we're at 5:07 p.m. If you're looking at this on a tape delay, right now it seems to be the brunt of the storm in terms of precipitation and also in terms of gusty winds. We've been seeing winds gusting from the east and southeast, especially along the coast, at speeds of upwards to 30 and even 40 miles an hour. Now, as we get into the evening hours and as the center of Faye moves northward, the eye of the storm, basically the eye of the storm moving over us, we're going to see a diminution of those winds. Those winds, which are rather gusty now, are going to slacken off quite a bit as we move through the evening hours tonight, and especially so once the storm is almost directly overhead along about midnight tonight here in the greater New York metropolitan area. Let's show you on the on this view here as I move the camera a little bit. This is based upon the GFS model, and the GFS, this is the model showing where the storm was at 2 o'clock this afternoon. There you see the center of the storm here, south and east of Cape May, or south and east of Atlantic City. And all of this, of course, is the heavy dose of moisture that we have been seeing associated with the showery rains, then the deeper shades of orange and red indicating where the heaviest activity was predicted to be. Let's move things along now. This is now as of 8 o'clock this evening. And you can see by now, 8 o'clock, the storm is now midway between about Belmar and New York City. But look where all the main area of precipitation is. Again, basically to the west of the Hudson River. And again, falling over mostly northern New Jersey, Orange County, for example, here, and the northeast portion of Pennsylvania, the Pocono Mountains. And meanwhile, the rest of our area, Long Island and Connecticut, seeing, rain, but nothing, overly heavy, again, because the main dose of rain is to the north and west of the storm center. As we continue moving things along, here's the storms as of 2 o'clock in the morning. Looks like it's up near Poughkeepsie, but notice again what little area of heavy rainfall or moderate to heavy rain still is located to the west of the storm track. And again, now most everybody's just seeing some lingering shower activity. But as I said, after 2 o'clock or so, that should be pretty well done with our area. In fact, by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, you can see that we're in a band of drier air. All the moisture is now moved on up. It's now located the center of the storm, Faye, near Glens Falls as of 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And it will continue to move, as I said, on a northward trajectory. But this is not the end of the precipitation. There's an upper level trough of low pressure. You can see this kind of bend in the isobars over here, over northern and western Pennsylvania and western New York. And that's going to kind of swing like a pendulum to the east like this. And as it does, we're going to enter into another zone of instability and possible some showers and storms, thunderstorms around tomorrow midday and on into the afternoon. In fact, you can see how the green areas are beginning to grow again during the midday and afternoon tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon, again, a showery day, a muggy day, a wet day. There's the trough of low pressure that you see here with the bend in the isobars, and that will be what we'll be experiencing here tomorrow. So don't put away your umbrellas. Showers and scattered strong to possibly severe thunderstorms in the forecast for tomorrow, again, because of this upper air disturbance. Thankfully, the disturbance is a quick mover. It will be moving on out. It'll be passing through our area by about midnight or after midnight tomorrow night, and then it will sweep on away. And of the 2 weekend days, the better of the two by far will be Sunday. Sunday will be a day where we'll see at least sunny to partly cloudy skies. It'll be a warm to even hot day with many areas challenging 90 degrees. Humidity, which has been so oppressive the last few days, still will be rather humid here on Sunday, maybe not quite so humid. I think dew point temperatures on Sunday may actually be down. Well, case in point, today we have dew points, a measure of the amount of moisture in the air, at about 70 degrees. On Sunday, dew points will be down to 64. That's still muggy in a normal case scenario, but when you compare it to what we've been dealt over the last couple of days, a drop of 5 or 6 points to about 64, 65 will feel a little bit better. Well, not exactly a dry heat, but it is going to be a drier kind of day on Sunday. And then as we move on into Monday, another round of moisture, another round of showers and storms may enter the picture from yet another upper level disturbance. You see even a reflection of a storm system down here over Maryland and trailing across the southern end, southern tier of Pennsylvania. So maybe a bit more in the way of showery weather coming our way on Monday after a respite from all of this on Sunday. Again, Sunday by far and away the driest and sunniest of the next 3 days coming up. I want to bring up a different type of map here. This is a map that shows you the amount of moisture at the 700 millibar level. We're talking about somewhere around 15,000 feet or so, but it gives also a good idea of the moisture in the atmosphere. And you can see here, this is as of 8 o'clock this morning. There is the storm system down here, and you can see the swirl of moisture coming in off of the Atlantic Ocean. Remember that around a cyclonic system like this, the winds flow in a counterclockwise direction. So literally, Faye was tapping into the moisture off of the Atlantic Ocean, adding to its own tropical moisture and swinging all of this around. That's why areas north and west of the center are seeing the most in terms of significant precipitation. The brown areas are the areas of dry conditions. And as you can see, today we started out with the storm coming up from the south and replacing or displacing the dry air that was over the northeast. In fact, if I move it forward 6 hours, here we go now. This is 2 o'clock this afternoon. Here again is the center of Faye. Here is that moisture, that dark shade of greenish blue, indicating all of that showery rain and embedded thunderstorm activity. And that dry air is now pushing up and away to the north and east across central and northern New England. When we get to 8 o'clock this evening, as you can see, the storm is virtually on top of the New York area. I think Faye will be just about overhead by about 11 o'clock or midnight tonight. But again, as I said a few moments ago, like the eye of a storm, like the eye of a hurricane, notice, if you will, that the area here is virtually devoid of much in the way of significant moisture and significant precipitation, even by 8 o'clock tonight. And those gusty, strong winds, again, like the eye of the storm. You can see how the isobars are tighter over here, but in the center of the storm, where the center of Faye happens to be, the winds are a lot lighter. And that's what I think is going to happen here in the next few hours. A couple of people have queried me on my Facebook page saying, boy, your wind velocities are nowhere near what we've been hearing from other sources. And the reason for that, again, my explanation for that is that as the center of Faye gets closer to us, those gusty winds are going to diminish because, again, literally the center or eye of the storm is going to be passing overhead later this evening and in the hours by or soon after midnight. And look at where all the heavy moisture is over eastern Pennsylvania, on up into central sections of New York State and upstate New York. And again, we seem to be drying out. So again, the heaviest of the rainfall hitting us now as we're doing this at about 5:15 this afternoon. But by the time we get to later this evening, a lot of that moisture will have pushed off to the west and to the north, and we'll be pretty well done with the heavy-duty rains, and we'll just have some leftover showers, much lighter shower activity during the evening, and probably they'll all come to an end in the after midnight hours. Let's move things along now. Here's 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. Saturday morning. The storm now up near Poughkeepsie. It has again moved through our area and has passed off to the north. Notice here that shade of light brown. So now drier air is coming in immediately behind the storm for the after midnight hours tonight. And then by tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., with Faye's remnants or the center of the storm now up near Glen Falls, New York, we now see that we're in a dry zone. But look, remember I told you about that upper level disturbance coming in from the west? Well, here comes the moisture associated with that. And that is going to translate for us tomorrow by later in the morning and afternoon into scattered showers, and again, a few scattered strong to possibly severe thunderstorms in portions of our viewing area. And that will be the case for tomorrow. As I said, the better of the 2 weekend days will be Sunday. You can see that area of moisture directly overhead by 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So showers and again, a few storms tomorrow. But then look, things dry out by 8 o'clock tomorrow night. That drier air takes hold. And by Sunday, look at all that dry air that will be building in. In fact, we'll have some very dry conditions here first thing on Sunday morning, probably with clear skies. And then as we move through the rest of the day on Sunday, we'll again be dry with conditions basically sunny to partly cloudy. Again, a hot one coming up on Sunday with temps near 90. And I suspect, again, a bit of a drop, not a big drop, but a bit of a dent in the dew point temperatures from around 70 now, oppressive 70-degree temperatures now. Dew point temperatures will be down to around 64, 65 Sunday afternoon. So a little bit of a break, not much of a break, but a little bit of a break in the oppressive humidities and high dew point temperatures that we've seen over the last couple of days to go along with that sunny to partly cloudy sky and those warm to hot temperatures. One last thing I wanted to show here, if I can bring it up. No, that's not what I wanted to bring up. So let me show you the satellite picture once again. Here we go. One more time with the satellite view from the GOES satellite, again showing that swirl of clouds associated with Faye. And again, notice, if you will, back here, down over the Delmarva Peninsula, sweeping back around to central and western Pennsylvania to western New York, that area of dry weather, drier air. It's a little bit of a corridor. You can already see the moisture with that upper level disturbance that's coming our way for tomorrow, moving into Ohio and extreme western Pennsylvania. But this swirl of dry weather, this corridor of dry weather, is what we'll get into later tonight and first thing in the morning. You may very well wake up tomorrow morning to some sunshine. It won't stay for very long, though, because as that upper level system comes in, it's going to translate again to showers and possible scattered thunderstorms midday and afternoon on Saturday. Sunday, again, the better day of the two in terms of weather. A warm to hot day, sunny to partly cloudy, temperatures near 90, and again, a slight dip in the humidity. Just a slight dip, but not as oppressive as what we've been dealt over the last few days. So as far as what we're seeing right now, I think right now, and this is again being recorded at 5:19 on Friday afternoon, the 10th of July, right now we're seeing about the worst of the storm from Faye in terms of showers and gusty winds, but things should gradually diminish. The winds should gradually abate in the coming hours as we move through the evening hours tonight. And we should be pretty well done with the heavy duty rains by 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. Leftover showers till about midnight or 2 a.m. We'll be done with the showers completely after that. And then we'll start off the day tomorrow with some dry weather, but then we'll get into more showers and possible storms midday and afternoon tomorrow. And then a much better day coming up for Sunday, and then a few more showers and possible storms to deal with on Monday. I would like to also ask all of you who are watching right now, if you are not already a subscriber to the Joe Rayo Weather channel here on YouTube, please subscribe, or at least tell some of your friends about this channel. We always try to stay on top of things in terms of adverse weather or significant weather events such as what we're dealing with right now. And we are looking for subscribers. We're up to about 830. We're trying to hit that magic number of 1,000. We're getting there slowly but surely, and we will get there if you tell your friends, family about this channel and have them subscribe to Joe Rayo Weather on YouTube. All right, that's pretty well it. We may be back tomorrow with an update on potential severe weather, strong to severe storms possible tomorrow. Not a definitive thing, but we'll talk about that if need be tomorrow here on our YouTube channel. And also another thing which we'll be talking about, I'm going to make a point to mention this in the next couple of days, is the comet. How many of you have heard about the new comet, Comet Neowise? That has been a rather striking sight. We haven't had a chance really much to see it here in the immediate New York area because we've had more cloud cover than anything else. But I think we'll have some drier and clearer weather to come in the next few days. And we'll talk about where Neowise is. It's currently in the morning sky, but next week it's going to become visible in the evening skies right after sundown. Not very often that we have a bright naked eye comet, but we do now. And we'll talk more about that again on a future Joe Rayo Weather Channel YouTube broadcast. Okay, I'm going to close the shutter on my camera lens here and want to thank all of you for tuning in here on this Friday afternoon. And we will be talking again, perhaps tomorrow, about more in terms of the weather. But again, the worst of the storm, the worst of Faye, will be from now till about 8 o'clock. And then we should gradually, slowly dry out. I'm going to just quickly answer a couple of questions. My friend Dennis Cassia is on our chat board, is asking clear Sunday morning. Dennis, I think we may have some clear weather for Sunday morning. Yes, I'm hoping that we do that and are able to see the comet for all of you comet fans and astronomy fans out there. John Francis, a good friend of mine also, well, we do need the rain. Yeah, and Lord Kate indicates that in Jericho so far, 3.3 inches. Well, maybe a little bit more between now and about 8 o'clock. Alfred Phillips, who's up in Alaska, good afternoon to you, sir. And Tim Pendleton, a large feeder band through Long Island. Sunday is out with fast-moving low-level clouds from south to north. Sun is out, he should say, with fast level morning low clouds. Yeah, so again, we'll be out of this soon. We'll be getting into a drier air zone later tonight and first thing tomorrow morning, and then maybe another round of showers later in the day tomorrow. All right, we're going to shut it down right now. Thank you very much. Again, if you've not already, please subscribe to this channel and tell your friends about Joe Rayo Weather. Thanks a lot. We'll be talking to you tomorrow, maybe.